Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Thursday morning, the 19th of December. So we're sticking with this Sebastian Rogers case today. Last couple of days I've been doing live streams, but I'm going to make this as short and concise as possible so that more people might watch it. I'm not here to bleat about low views. That's not my aim of saying what I'm about to say. If people don't watch, people don't get the information. And this information is really important. This is potentially game changing. So instead of doing a 2-hour live stream that only a handful of people will watch, hopefully this short video will explain enough to people so that they can just open their minds. This is game changing. It blows out of the water some of the more popular views about the flashlights video. Shall we get into it? Yes. All right, we will. Boom. Before I start, I'll just remind you of Cold Case Christmas over on my other channel, Michelle Walks. We've got 18 episodes up now. Episode 19 will come out as usual at 6 PM UK time. And if you like cold cases, unsolved mysteries, then this series, which is season 3, is for you. All the cold cases that I've ever done are in this playlist. So if you like unsolved mysteries, missing persons, unsolved murders, check it out. Go and subscribe while you're over there. All right, without further ado. So this has set the cat amongst the pigeons amongst those who think that the flashlights video was either Sebastian being chased or it was a fight in the area behind Sebastian's house. No, it is not, and this proves it. In my opinion, this proves it. So this is a screenshot from a video that Cletus took, Cluminati's fiance. So it's the driveway on the corner of Stafford Court and Kellen that had the camera. So here is Stafford and here is Kellen. Had the camera that caught the flashlights video. The camera is angled down. You can see here on Google, but you can also see from this photo that SF Investigates, the private investigator who's working this case really hard, posted on Twitter. So you can see it's angled down and to this side because the homeowner wants to protect his vehicles and his boat. He's not interested in what's going on in the neighbourhood. It's not pointing out at people's houses. He doesn't care about them. He just cares about anybody, coming in and robbing his vehicles. All right, but inadvertently, it did catch some lights. The original video that Nick Barris from News Channel 5 Nashville put out was misleading because it was somebody taking a video on their phone of a TV screen that was showing that surveillance footage the night that Sebastian disappeared, so the early morning hours of February 26th. And SF Investigates has been able to glean, based on times on the cameras of 4 other surveillance systems in the neighbourhood, that this footage was between 5:09 and 5:10 AM. So less than an hour before it was discovered by Katie Proudfoot that Sebastian was missing. And this was the time that the trash truck was in the neighbourhood. The trash truck passed Sebastian's house at approximately 5:12 AM. People think that this footage was taken in the 3 o'clock hour because the clock on this surveillance camera from this house was stuck. It wasn't working. So anything that happened in the 3 o'clock hour happened in the 3 o'clock hour. This didn't happen in the 3 o'clock hour. This happened in the 5 o'clock hour, 5:09 to 5:10. All right, so we've got these lights here moving synchronously with these lights and the rest of the screen because somebody's hand is shaking. All right, let's just dial this back a second. And we get subject 2 appearing. Yes, that is moving synchronously as well with the rest of the screen because somebody's hand is shaking who's taking this video, but it's also moving independently. And it's this subject 2 that people think is Sebastian, and this, or someone chasing Sebastian, and then this is also somebody else with a flashlight. It's not. This is a light on the house on Stafford, which is 1006, but we'll break all this down in a second. So we've got this security camera, and we've got this security camera, or light, or whatever, and then the only moving dynamic object in this entire video is subject 2. And subject 2 keeps appearing and disappearing, like someone's turning a light off and on again. So there's 2 things here. Where is subject 2? So I think this is game changing. I really think this is game changing, because people have been arguing about camera angles and all this, all that. Doesn't matter, because we've now got a fixed position in the neighbourhood that tells us exactly where that subject 2 was. And it's captured on this video that Cletus took. It's a little bit out on the angles, but because the original camera is no longer there, because the homeowner's upgraded his system, so this camera has been upgraded. So this is from July 2023. So presumably that's the same camera that captured the lights in February 2024. But he's upgraded his system, so they know what the specification of that camera was, but they just don't have that camera anymore. Alright, we've got a fixed position because Cletus has captured this here. This, it's fairly obvious when you compare Cletus's video with the flashlights video, Nick Barris's flashlights video, that this is this house. And then subject 1, which is another fixed light, is a light here on 1006. So what's this? Well, it's this house. Watch what happens when I make this more transparent. Now again, it's not perfect fit because the angle's a bit off, but look at that. That is the lights from this house. Look at the shape. You can see the wall. You see the wall right there. Zoom in a bit. You see the wall. Look. There's that wall. There's that bit that goes there. And then that's that bit. Look at it. It's perfect. It's perfect fit. So we've got this fixed position in the neighbourhood. So the exact angle of the camera and all this nonsense doesn't matter. It no longer matters because we've got this fixed point in the neighbourhood. So we can now work out approximately where subject 2 was. We also know that subject 1 is a fixed light and it has to be on this house. So where's subject 2? Well, on the flashlights video. Alright, so we know which house this is. We know which house this is. Subject 2 is in between them. So subject 2 moves along, moves along. Now, we have been told that subject 2 is the trash truck. So it's potentially the light on top of the trash truck on Honeysuckle. Potentially, that makes sense. Where's Honeysuckle? Honeysuckle is this road here, which runs to the west of Stafford. And this is on a hill, so you can look down on Stafford Court. Let's go down to Honeysuckle here. It goes up a hill. And the houses are spread sufficiently apart that if the trash truck was coming along here, like collecting trash, the light appears to disappear when it passes a house, but when it's in the open, the light shines down onto Stafford. So it could be a trash truck, right? Could be. But SF Investigates has released 2 pages from a light analysis report that he's been compiling for the case. So we've got light source 1 and light source 2. Okay. Analysis of the light pattern shown in the surveillance footage captured from the corner of Kelling and Stafford Court on February 26, 2024. All models were used to analyse the pixel level of the video and track size, movements, deviations, and other data available to determine the likely source of each light source analysed. So 2 light sources. So subject 1 and subject 2. Pixel level analysis and contour detection techniques were applied to track positional changes across frames, enabling accurate measurement of light source movement and variability. Alright, so we've only got the last page with the overall conclusions in it. We haven't got the full report. Got the first page and the last page. Final conclusions. Based on the analysis of the video, light source 1, so Nick Brace's subject 1, is most likely a stationary mounted light source such as a security floodlight, porch light or flashlight fixed on a stable surface. Its consistent height, 5'5" to 6'5", lack of lateral movement and steady beam pattern strongly suggest it's not being carried by a person. So, subject 1 is a fixed light source and it must belong to this house here, because we've got this fixed position here of these 2 houses. Alright, in contrast, light source 2 exhibits dynamic behaviour with a significant height fluctuation, 6'5" to 8'5", and lateral motion that align with human walking patterns. This strongly indicates that it's a handheld flashlight actively used by a person moving through the area. The variability in light source 2's behaviour suggests it's being held at shoulder or head level by an individual possibly scanning or navigating the environment. The person holding light source 2 is most likely around 5'5" to 6 foot, with a higher likelihood closer to 5'5", if the flashlight is regularly held at shoulder level. So Sebastian was 5'5", but there's no suggestion that the person holding the flashlight was Sebastian. But where were they? Where were they? Remember, this is between 5'9" and 5'10", because that's when the flashlight's video footage was taken. So the flashlight that SF Investigates thinks it's most likely a person rather than a trash truck. I don't know. Trash trucks only ever come into the case because apparently cops told Seth and Chris that the light was a trash truck on honeysuckle, so behind this tree line here. Alright, so where is this flashlight? So that's the camera. So the 2 houses that are relevant to this are in this cul-de-sac here. It's this one and this one. We go down to street level, you can see them both. Alright, so it's this one. That's the one that has the 2 lights. And then the house just behind here, whoa, is this one, right? So those are the 2 houses. The house that has subject 1 is this house right here, Sebastian's next door neighbour. So the, zoom out a bit, flashlight is in between this house and this house. So is it someone walking along the road? Is it someone in these trees? There's like a small tree line area there, which is just a handful of trees on the corner here. Or are they further back on this tree line? Because the height is between 6'5" and 8'5", so they must be on an elevation, because they're not just suddenly going to grow. Or are they behind here on this tree line? So walking behind the houses. And what are they doing? What direction are they going in? Well, we can tell what direction they're going in from the flashlight's video. So they go... Alright, so they're going right. Okay. They're moving along here. So if this indeed is a person, so it kind of looks like they're in this area. I mean, they could be behind here, and it disappears because they go kind of behind this house. But they're going in this direction. This direction. So either here or behind here, potentially. But they're here. So near Sebastian's house, but they're not at the back. What does that mean for the case? Well, 509 to 510, there's someone out there with a flashlight who is approximately Sebastian's size. If SF Investigates report is accurate that this is a person. Is it Sebastian? We don't know. But there's only one light. And it's here. What does this mean for the dog track? Well, could it mean, if indeed it is Sebastian, could it mean that he went to the retention pond, but then he came back? What do you mean that? He came back. And that would confuse the dogs. That really would confuse the dogs. Because he's going over his same track. So it just looks like the track ends. But actually, Sebastian comes back. And then, maybe messing about in these trees here. If it's Sebastian. But where did he go after that? Because it would mean he was right in the neighbourhood near his house at 509. If that was Sebastian. What happened to him? How could he disappear from the other side of the road to his house at 509 to 510? Don't know. Might not be Sebastian. No suggestion in SF's report that it was Sebastian. But it's intriguing, isn't it? And it explains why the dogs lost the scent if he came back and he followed the same path back. Because to a dog, it would just feel like the scent was lost. If you just retrace your steps, confuses a dog. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I know that this video will only get a handful of views because it's not fitting the established narrative. The one that is being pushed by a great deal of people now because they're being controlled. I can't understand why people are allowing other people to tell them what to put on their channel. Anyway, that's a completely different story for a different day. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.